The subject of this tutorial deals with the different types of question available within Moodle. I shall try to give a broad overview of how each question type would appear to an end user. I shall not, however, go through the step-by-step process in the creation of each question type, as this would take too long and really needs to be learned through trial and error. Many question types resemble each other in their construction anyway, so can be mastered quite quickly. We can begin by refreshing our memory how to access the question creation menu. We can do this from the site homepage by selecting Question Bank and then Questions. Next, we need to select the bank where we wish to store our new question. I shall select System Default Bank for the example. When we click on Create New Question, the question type selection menu opens and displays all the different types of question we can create. As we can see, not all the question types in the list are designed or adapted to language learning, being more mathematically orientated. For this tutorial, we shall just see those which could be used in a language study scenario, which can be seen on this page, where I have created some basic example questions to illustrate each type. I'll begin with a drag and drop into image example. In this example, the user has to drag and drop an image, a word or a phrase into a predefined place on a background image, like so. Then they have a number of options to select from to complete their action, depending on whether they want to save or submit their work. In this example, they can check the answers immediately. Now let's look at a drag and drop markers example. In this type of question, we can predefine zones on a background image where we can drag and drop words. This is good for vocabulary teaching, as these zones can be defined very precisely. The answers can again be checked, submitted, and so on. A drag and drop into text user to identify and position predefined words or phrases in a text. The text could be based on a listening file, MP3, for example, a video, an image, or just a standalone text. And again, this question type can be programmed to give the user immediate or deferred feedback, and so on. An essay type question gives the student an open text editor where they may be requested to write a text, answer questions, and so on. This can be based on a subject named by the teacher or on a given media, for example image, video, MP3, which can be included in the question page. This type of question is generally non-autocorrective, meaning that when the student has completed the task, they will submit it to the tutor for corrective feedback. A select missing word type question requests the student to choose a correct response, word or phrase, from a list in a drop-down menu. This could be considered another way to present a multiple choice type exercise. A matching type question gives the student a drop-down menu of all the answers to all the questions in the exercise, from which they must choose the correct answer. An embedded answer type question is just another fancy name for a close activity, where we can blank out words or phrases in a text, which the student then has to type in the corresponding blank space normally. But the word we want to blank out has to be placed in a special fixed code box within the text. And though this is a simple operation, it can be a bit tedious if there are many blanks necessary in the text. We can choose to present the close activity as a simple gap fill exercise, a drop-down menu, or a drag and drop exercise. The choice the creating teacher makes will largely depend on the level of the students or the level of difficulty of the content. Another way to create a close activity more simply is by creating an embedded answer type question and placing or writing a text in the text editor. However, this is only possible using a tiny MCE text editor, which has a close activity function. This is represented by a yellow icon with a question mark in the text editor's toolbar. Individual words or phrases then just need to be selected and a window opens, where the chosen word is automatically coded to be blanked out in the text. Again, we have the choice to present the exercise as a gap fill, a drop-down menu, or a drag and drop exercise. Moodle gives us a multiple choice type question where the number of answer choices is unlimited. We could imagine a TOEIC type exercise where the student has to choose the best sentence to describe a photo. But we could also use an MP3 or video or just a plain text followed by multiple choice questions. A short answer question is a simple question type where the student has to write a word or sentence to accompany a stimulus phrase describing a picture, as we can see in this example. And finally, there is a true-false type question like this one, where the student is given a phrase based on an image, video, MP3, or text, and then has to choose if the statement is true or false. The creation of questions within Moodle, as with any platform for that purpose, can take some getting used to, and the learning curve is more or less steep. But the results are worth it. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial about the different types of question available to us within Moodle.